So we're online, MKidz happening in a different space, but it's good to be together, and we hope that you will just enjoy being with us in this way. So let's start by singing an MKidz song together.
Through you the blind will see, through you the mute will sing, through you the dead will rise, through you all hearts will praise, through you the darkness flees, through you my heart screams, I am free. And I am free to run. I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. I am free to live for you. I am free. I am free. 'Cause I am free to run. 'Cause I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to dance. 'Cause I am free to live for you. 'Cause I am free to live for you. I am free. I am free. Through you the blind will see, through you the mute will sing, through you the dead will rise, through you all hearts will praise, through you the darkness flees, through you my heart screams, I am free. 'Cause I am free to run. 'Cause I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. 'Cause I am free to live for you. I am free. I am free. I am free to run. 'Cause I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. 'Cause I am free to live for you. I am free. I am free.
Jesus' life shows us that there's a certain mystery to life. That means that there are certain things we just don't understand. There are times of suffering and there are wonderful times. There are times of growth and new life and times where it feels like everything is standing still, perhaps even dying. It feels like nothing is happening. When we follow in Jesus' footsteps, we learn to surrender our lives to Him daily so that we can truly live, even when it's not easy. Jesus can use each situation to shape and teach us. Sometimes it feels like everything is over, but often it's just the beginning. Let's listen to the story of Amy.
I was on top of the world, class leader, netball captain, everyone's best friend, and I was going to get my academic colors at the end of the year. Then my parents made the big announcement. We're moving. Now? Really? This is not going to work for me. But we were on our way. No friends, no netball, weird small town school. A different curriculum of which I was 2 terms behind, and the leaders had already been chosen, which I was obviously not a part of. I've fallen so far. I feel like a nobody. But you won't believe it. I started seeing how many other kids sit alone at break time. I hadn't noticed it before. I walked up to them and I sat with them. All of a sudden, I had time to spend with my parents, so I discovered that they aren't that bad. I realized I was talking more to God, especially when I felt like the maths homework was just too much, and I was starting to find meaning. Now, I'm not saying that God did all of this for me or that it's his fault that my life has turned upside down. But I do realize that difficult times are sometimes a part of life, and that some good can come of it. Real interesting things can happen when you put your own preferences and desires aside and turn to God to let Him work in your life. That must be what Jesus meant when He said, "Unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds."
In those times that you feel it's the end, it's really tough, but it can help you grow and get to know Jesus in a different way. Now, Jesus doesn't make bad things happen to you. That's just not who He is. But He can use it to lead you to a new place in your life. And because you grow and change, you learn to make a difference through the person you are. Jesus Himself died and rose again. We share in His life and thus also go through seasons of metaphorical death and life every day, just like a seed that dies and then grows. God's world looks different to ours. When you surrender your own preferences and desires, you learn to live life God's way. You can live with joy despite suffering. The Bible says that those who are first will be last. It's as if God's world is asking us to think differently. So He asks you to not put your own desires and preferences first, but to trust Him and give Him the first place in your life. When you put your life in His hand, you really live, even amidst suffering. Now I want to invite you to think about a few questions. If you want, you can write that. You can write in your journal, or you can discuss with your parents afterwards. First question: have you ever felt like you are in a time of winter in your life? Second question: how do you think God can bring something positive out of a situation like this? Third question: how do you give Jesus the first place in your life? And the last question: how can your life change when you surrender your life to Him in such a way? So it's been awesome spending some time with you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon, even though it's still online. Have a great week.